in case you're wondering, I have this recording on my Zoom because we had technical difficulties last time, so I want to make sure that this records. So that's why my computer is up, and we have a video camera there. So we'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everyone. If you have not signed in, you could sign in the back. That would be great. There is a sign-in sheet and agendas. And if we need more, just shout and I will get more. All right. Start to here. So we have the regular meeting minutes. Did you guys have any questions, comments, changes?
No, I did not.
All right, I did. When the minutes were published, the Bartlett Transfer Station rates were not included, so those are going to be put out separately with the minutes as an addendum. And there's also a notice that I'm going to read into the minutes here for correction as well. So it's due to state regulations requiring a railing in front of all dumpsters. The transfer station will be installing such a railing in front of the construction debris dumpsters. This will preclude the dumping of trailers into the dumpsters. Trailers may be unloaded by hand only. Dumping of trailers will cease on August 15th, 2025, and that's from the Bartlett-Jackson Transfer Station Committee. And then all these new rates will go into effect August 15th as well. So those will be published on e-news and on the town website. That was just the addition and correction. Yep. So motion to approve the minutes from July 8th.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you all. And I have the Bartlett-Jackson EMS on the top of the agenda, but they got a call, so we'll just put them off till they get here, and hopefully everyone will be okay. Thank you. All right, 250th celebration. Greg, how are you?
Greg Marcello.
Thank you.
So I just would like to recommend that the town allow a group of us to explore a 250th celebration here in Jackson. This not an every year, but just for the 250th. And that we look at, what those options could be and what that cost might be, et cetera, and, come back in the fall at some point and say, here's what we think you would like to do. Probably engaging a lot of the nonprofits in looking at this, because each of them could be recognized, historical society, library, et cetera. And not just, a parade or something like that, but something where there's a variety of different events occurring, be it this historical, cultural, et cetera, so that we can celebrate Jackson as well as, the country's 250th.
Great.
And so just looking for the okay to, I'm not sure how, who makes that decision, whatever, if we can explore and do that, but I'm assuming there would be some cost related to this. I don't think a lot, but some cost, and so just wondering.
Yeah, and I think it's a great idea, also including the Chamber of Commerce, because they would definitely probably want to be included in that conversation, and of course, all of the department heads that would be needed. We're probably going to be putting together an event permit that we put into place by town meeting, but that might occur down the road for next year.
Yeah.
But, comments or thoughts on this?
No, sounds
It's
like
a good idea.
Yeah, sounds great. Thanks,
Yeah.
Greg.
So
If
we'll
you
come
need
back in
our...
the fall with something and
Yeah.
say this is what we're thinking.
Okay,
Great.
perfect. Thank you.
Yep.
All right, this next one really, as a CPA, excites me. We got a really long letter from the CPA firm with their audit engagement letter. Did you guys get a copy of this, and do you have any
read it,
questions?
I got it on email, yeah.
It's
No?
a very boilerplate type of engagement letter that goes out, so to set forth the audit. So this is going to be giving authorization for Plodzik and Sanderson to audit our financial statements from 2024, which they will just confirm year end, and then auditing 2025 and 2026, so that we can secure funds in the future without as much
Yeah.
headache. So
Right.
I'm going to make a motion to sign the engagement letter.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. And just as a note here, the cost of the audit, which we know is not inexpensive ever, will be $15,000 for 2024 year, $15,525, and $15,875. So that will be in our budget for next year at a little over $45,000. And then for years past that, it will be $15,000 plus for each year following that. All right, no, not cheap. It is honestly a good thing to have because it ensures all the controls and internal controls and things too. All right. Valley Cross Road Bridge maintenance. You would think that this wouldn't be a topic since we just opened the bridge, but the bridge contractor recommended, and this is actually required by the state, that we have a regular bridge maintenance. And so this would involve washing the steel each spring and touching up the paint. And there were photos that were sent of the paint that has to be used, which is $300 a gallon. What? I know, right? So that will be in the budget moving forward too. And this is done by our highway department. So washing the concrete deck, walk, etc., and reapplying the silane siloxane sealer about every 3 years. And that Austin Construction charges $95 a gallon to supply and apply the sealer, and they used about 30 gallons on the bridge. So this is something that we just spent $2.5 million between the state and the town to put up this beautiful bridge. So we do want to maintain it, and this would be done every 2 to 5 years, depending on what type of maintenance it is. So this is an FYI, but we will be seeing this in the bridge maintenance funds moving forward.
But it does have to be done every year. This is every couple of years or so, and take a look at it.
Yeah, the
to
paint,
improve.
I
Right.
believe the paint is, it'll be cleaned every year in the paint, and then the washing as needed, probably every 2 years, 2 to 5 years. But the bridge looks nice, right?
Yeah, I've got a few comments on that.
Okay. So we have a presentation of a fireworks permit request for Black Mountain area for December 31st of 2025. As of today, we have not received payment for the permit from the last fireworks display, so I don't feel like we need to discuss this until we receive payment for the first one, because I'm inclined to not approve it until we get payment. Do you have any thoughts or comments on that?
I think we can log it to that, but are we going to be able to discuss this any further, or does it just stop right here?
Once we receive the payment,
Then
I
you
would
want-
be happy to discuss it further.
Sure.
We have
Okay.
that disputed payment right here for you, so we could continue that discussion.
Yeah.
Okay,
There
I'll
you
put
go.
that on the agenda for the next meeting. Thanks, Eric.
So, sorry, so you
Appreciate
don't
it.
want to do it this meeting?
Correct.
Okay, even though it's on the agenda now?
Yep,
Okay.
because
so-
we don't have payment in the bank, so I appreciate it. And we'll get that deposited and put it on the next agenda.
Okay.
Thank you.
Can we also ask to have some discussion about that deposit when I emailed Julie about that payment? We had asked that to be on this agenda?
Great. We had discussed that at the last meeting, so I don't think there's anything more to discuss about that. We got the fee, and that's part of what we discussed at the last meeting, so unless you have any other comments on the fee?
Thank you for getting it to us.
It
Okay,
is disputed, as you'll see in the memo, and there is a letter attached with that. So
Mhm.
we still feel that we'd like to discuss that fee, but if you're gonna hold up our future permit based on that fee, we'll tender that payment in dispute
Okay.
and deal with it appropriately at that point. But
All right.
we would honestly love that, the fireworks are a very time-sensitive thing, given that New Year's and firework companies all like to have fireworks on the same day.
Right.
So we'd love to discuss that with you, but if you wanna punt that to the next meeting, if you feel that's necessary, then
I
that's
do.
fine.
All right, so we'll put that on the August 12th agenda. Thanks, Julie. Thanks, Eric. All right, fire station construction updates.
Not all that dissimilar from the last update. We are on schedule and under budget. The foundation walls were originally scheduled on the timeline to be poured August 7th. It looks like that may be a little sooner. It's possible we'll have 2 of the walls poured Friday. If not Friday, then early Monday, Tuesday next week, and maybe the other 2 walls poured on Friday the 7th. We're online to then have framing begin August 8th. So that's, in general terms, the status of the project. We meet weekly on Tuesday mornings, and so that was pretty fresh update I just gave you.
Awesome. Cool. Town Hall building move updates. Stephen, do you want to update us on anything other than what's been put out on e-news? I understand that it's next Tuesday is the big day.
Yes.
Is this a rain or shine event?
No, if it's rain, it may get delayed.
Okay.
The forecast looks good right now.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Hope everything goes smoothly and everyone is safe.
Thank you.
At 9 o'clock in the morning, is that when it's when people get down there? The crowds are gonna gather.
Yeah, I haven't heard official word from Gary Sylvester, but I'd say 9 is approximate start. And it'll be a lengthy process. It
Yeah.
won't happen in 5 minutes.
You hope. Just kidding. Those breaks? No. Don't even do it. Okay. All right. Well, like I said, good luck. I'm sure that you're looking forward to getting that put down in the spot there. All right, Jay, since we're moving along fast, I didn't put you up at the top, but you have an update.
I'm having a good day.
Wool and China shop comes to mind, but just. Okay. So we're talking about the Davis Fire Pond, which,
Okay,
but let's talk about that first, and then you said you have some other updates on all fire
I
ponds,
think
or?
we should do it the other way around.
Okay,
So I did a kind of a fire pond report, study, whatever you want to call it. And the short story is the majority of our fire ponds that we access are in pretty good shape. So a lot of them fire ponds have dry hydrants, which they usually the piping part of it is our ownership, our deal, if we need to take care of them. Almost all are not in bad shape at all. The only one we may have to do some dredging for in the future, which is we've done on a regular basis and is kind of easy and not a huge deal, is the town, which we own. The silt that runs in there through the culvert from the brook is always constantly an issue. That's about the only one which we own, is the only one that's gonna need some work. That's easy, because there's no wetlands, it's flat. It's pretty easy, it's safe, I guess I should say, to try to deal with it. It can get a little messy, but, and that's that's kind of a minor issue at this point. As long as the beavers stay out of a couple of the other ones, there's not much issues. There's one privately owned condo pond that is in the process of dealing with some issues, which isn't our responsibility.
is it still accessible though to you?
It is, there's not much water there, but there was an email today about it, so it's being worked on. So the good news is there's not a lot of issues. As far as Rick Davis, on to Rick Davis's part, I guess I know the dry hydrant works fine. Kenny and a few guys did test it already this spring, so the dry hydrant works fine. My recommendation would be, that's actually become a really important fire pond in the winter months. Whitney's is extremely important fire pond, but in the winter when it's being used for snowmaking, which not their fault, but it goes up and down, creates false ice and things like that. So we have found that since the dry hydrant's not there no more, and it was extremely difficult to maintain a dry hydrant there, that in the winter it's not the best situation for us. So that made, when Rick added his, that makes it fairly important. My recommendation would be to give him a third of the money, which we've done in the past at other ponds where we've shared expense, and take 3,000 out of our fire pond / dry hydrant fund, and which we have done with some other spots. So that'd be my recommendation.
How did you come up with 3,000?
It's a third of 10, or 33 and a third, I guess, would be official third.
Of, to,
Which is consistent with
what
what
he's,
we,
that's what he submitted last time in the bills, right?
yeah, I think it was 10 grand was the low estimate.
Yeah.
So it's a third, so
Yeah.
however you wanna divide that up.
Okay.
Which is consistent with what we've done in the past with Dawn at Whitney's and John at Black.
Okay.
We've kind of split it 3 different ways between, so that's, if you don't wanna do it, that's fine, but that would be,
Do you have how much we have in the dry hydrant fund?
I think it's 35, somewhere around 35 grand.
And how many
The only-
ponds do we have in town?
Well, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 that I kind of consider fire ponds. I'm sure there's a couple more small ones.
Okay.
A good 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those are required by subdivision requirements.
Okay.
And 3 of those are extremely private. So more than half of those aren't something that the town has much involvement in. The only thing I want to mention is, and it may change everybody's tune as to where we put our fire pond money. Probably one of the most important things we got is a lack of water on Tyrol, which means someday in the future, and it's on our mitigation plan, trying to think of the right acronym. Anyway, the mitigation plan that we do every 5 years with the state, is to have some kind of a cistern up there. The town does have a really small piece of property on the ledge that I've thought about, which would be an expensive endeavor, but depending on how big of a cistern, but that's really important someday. So it's just a matter of saving for it, I guess, so.
Are there any properties up there that potential for ponds? Anybody you've talked to?
Not a pond up there.
No.
If there was, there'd still be snowmaking at Tyrol.
Yeah, one along- I know Eddie Doobie at one point came to my house and wanted to put a pond in there back in the early
I mean,
'90s. Halfway up time, I'm just saying.
I'm talking about the, well, higher
Way up,
end,
all right,
but-
okay.
But if you want to put on.
No, I didn't want to do that.
So that's
And
my
what the
thoughts,
mosquitoes
but
are
it
about.
would be a worthy investment to give a little something.
How much do you ballpark a cistern?
Say that again.
How much would you guess a cistern would cost?
Depends how big we go. If you go 30,000 gallons, like a lot of them are, it'd be huge money. I don't think we'd ever fit one that big up there. I mean, you could spend 20, 50, 100 grand, depending on how you do it and how elaborate you get and how big you go. And
Okay, so you have a big range of.
yeah,
numbers there.
it's a long shot, but it's on the mitigation list.
And I would also include that when you meet with the planning board for your 10-year
Yeah.
plan, for sure.
So,
Bob?
Yeah, and I'm just wondering if it might make sense to get as specific as we can in that, with that general range, to determine if we want to ask for more money to go into that over the next several years, maybe, project out like that, and
Yeah.
maybe we would plan on it, maybe it's a 3-year plan.
Maybe Bert could tell you, how much would a above ground cistern be?
I think it's gonna be at the high end of your range there. It's
Okay.
probably like $3 a gallon or something like that, if I had to guess.
Okay.
So if we started replenishing the fund at a higher rate moving forward to help maybe over the next 3 years, that would probably be a wise move.
Yeah,
We
as
can
long
at
as
least
the,
put
you know,
that out at budget time.
the negative side is if we start getting deluges of rain, then it affects fire ponds and so that.
But I'd rather run over and
Yeah,
than run short and have a disaster.
we got droughts on the horizon.
So that's what I come up with that so far. I mean, anything can change, but
Do you want to make a motion to approve the $3,000 to help Rick, and then I have a question about future ponds. Like, do you have a schedule that you would want to put out for other ponds too?
We don't really, I wouldn't say we have a schedule. I have files for each pond,
Mhm.
or the ones that we got ponds we haven't touched before. I mean, for example, Gales Pond,
Mhm.
Extremely low maintenance, difficult access, so dredging that would be, you know, that it's just not something we've ever touched or probably ever will touch.
So I have another question.
Let's see.
If there's a town.
Nestle Nook, that's one that we probably never touch.
If
you
there's a
know.
pond that is used frequently and dredged frequently for like snowmaking purposes and stuff, would that mean that it's less accessible? And where I'm going this is that Black Mountain asked for money last year, and if they're going to be using it for for snowmaking, would that mean that the need to dredge it would be more frequent?
No, what affects Whitney's pond and a couple other ones is the fact that it's fed by a brook intake.
Mhm.
And when we get heavy rains like we've gotten in the last 10 years, they fill in. Just like the town pond does the same thing. And they fill in quick. You start getting, you know, the rains that we've been getting when we get them. That's what affects anywhere that we've dredged. It's Rick's is fed by groundwater, so it's not dredging because of silt. I haven't been in it. We have had divers in ponds before that
Yeah.
look at the dry hydrants and stuff for us. So I'm not really sure exactly what he's thinking or gaining, but whatever.
Mhm.
The only ones we've had issues with has been from weather and intakes that are from like brook fed or other than Valley Crossroad Pond.
Mhm. Is
has
that, who
been from the
owns that?
beavers.
Who owns Valley Crossroad?
Kendall owns the property. That's one of the only ponds we have an easement on.
Okay.
That's the other thing I forgot. A good thing you brought that stuff up. I think from here on out, anytime the town invests money into a fire pond, that we get a written easement. We don't have a lot of written easements,
Okay, so,
so that's something to think about probably. The one on Valley Crossroad, we actually have an official registry of deeds, registered easement. And there may be a few others.
I mean, that's a lot to propose right now, so if you're saying 3,000 to give to Rick Davis to absorb some of that cost, are you going to ask for an easement on that too? Because that's something that we would
I-
have to probably carry over to the next meeting, so we can
I
ask Rick
think
to be part of
as
it.
long as we could, I think we should we should set the precedence. If we're gonna invest money, we should have a official easement so they can't like take the dry hydrant, do away with the dry hydrant or something. When it
Okay.
comes to an emergency, they can't keep us from taking the water.
Yeah.
I can take it out of a hot tub, a swimming pool, or whatever I want if it's an emergency.
Does he have a dry hydrant?
Yes.
Okay. You ready for a motion?
Are you, I guess I am unless we want to have I mean, do you want to have an easement on that, or do you just want to go with it
I
and
think
then
we
propose
should.
it for
If
the
we're
future?
if we're gonna give them money, then I think we should have an easement, official written easement, so.
And do we have a sample of one already that we can use, or that should go by Jason anyway?
If I could dig the one that we have, I guess, out of the file and see what it says. I mean, that would be a lawyer
Yeah.
question, I guess.
All right,
What happens if they don't want to sign the easement? Potential, they wouldn't want to sign it. I mean, we haven't done that in the past, as you know.
Then we
need to
don't give
use
them
our
the money and we
equipment.
still have the access
Well,
to
is
the
that what
pond
we
in
do
an
then?
emergency.
Well, I'll make a motion that we contribute $3,000 to
Yeah.
the maintenance of the Davis Pond contingent on them signing an easement allowing us access.
And there may be some, I may not have all the paperwork, maybe there is some easements already, but they don't have one.
I'll second that.
Okay.
All in favor? Aye. Thank
Barb,
you.
did you see my hand up?
I did, thank you.
No discussion on that?
No,
Zero.
okay. Can you get me whatever you have on file for the easement, and then we'll have
Yep,
that
I'll look
reviewed?
up. Better write that down.
Rob came in.
Yes, thank you, appreciate that. Rob Reiners, I saw you came in, I hope everything is okay. We're gonna go backwards to the first thing under 4A, and I have one copy of the flyer up here, but do you wanna come up and talk about this? Did you guys see this at all?
So I just want to take a moment to let everybody know the Bartlett Jackson Ambulance Service is offering some community CPR and first aid courses. We're offering them about once a month on our Facebook page, as well as a flyer here, and I have one also. We have dates set out for it. The next one coming up is going to be on August 20th. It's going to be a community first aid course. And then the next one after that is going to be a CPR course.
Cool.
These are done to benefit the community. We ask for a $25 donation, but kind of pay what you can if you're not able to make that. It'll be at the Bartlett, or Glen Fire Station, or the Bartlett Jackson Ambulance Station.
I'm going to have a few of these printed. There's a QR code on them, and we can, make them available and accessible. But we are completely spoiled by our Bartlett Jackson Ambulance Service, and these guys work all the time, nonstop. They take care of everything, transports. They train the public and take care of us. And we barely contribute anything through our taxpayer dollars. So thank you for what you do and for doing more training and stuff. And Bob's also an EMT, so thanks for all you do.
If anybody has any questions about it, feel free to grab me after the meeting or to talk about the service in general. Okay.
We'll make some more copies of this, so.
Great.
Thanks, Rob.
Yeah, thanks, Rob.
Does
Glad
that
you're
have the
here.
dates on it?
Yeah, this has all the dates on it, and which class, whether it's CPR or first aid. All right. All right, the next is Whitney's Pond. So at the last meeting, we gave Eric Mogensen and Mark Hood a letter that had instructions and some descriptions of what needed to be done to move forward with that pond. And so Burr, Jay, and Kevin, you guys were part of that plan, as well as Ben Halcyon from the Conservation Commission. So Burr, I'd like to ask if you would want to be the sort of the point person on following up on that letter with the kind of the to-do list and moving forward on making sure things are done as far as following best practices.
Sure, I mean, there's really not much for me to do until we get
Right.
a response back and some sort of response back from
I just want one point person because Jay has the interest as a fire pond, Eric has the interest for snowmaking, and Mark has the interest because it's on his property. So I want one point person to be able to be the go-to on that. So if that works for you, and Eric, does that work for you?
Whoever the town wants to be the point person, that's fine. But yeah, we'll definitely be responding to that letter.
Okay.
And I'll let you know you let me know when we can have discussion on this with these one.
We can have a discussion. You asked to be on the agenda for that today, I believe, so I just wanted to put that forward first. But what is your
So I think that a
discussion
couple
point?
points on the Whitney's thing. First of all, as we just heard on the previous issue, that pond, the town had previously contributed to dredging of the pond in 2016, I believe it was, and sort of continually paid a third. We were told no funding at that time. It seems like potentially the town's position has changed on funding fire ponds. So would we be able to go ahead and submit an invoice for the 1/3 just as the Davis Pond was approved? I mean, we certainly support the Davis Pond being dredged as well. I
Yeah.
think it's a fantastic resource. We have an entitlement that we could also pass an easement on for that pond to the town as well.
Yeah, and that's sort of why I wanted to ask Jay if he had some plans moving forward on what that would be, and if it's necessary to have, have that done, then we can certainly have that discussion on, on funds to be contributed to maintaining that pond.
So, but I guess my specific question is that, 6 or 7 months later, we've approved a pond just up the road for a third of dredging. Could we also submit an invoice for that reimbursement pending an easement the same as the Davis Pond?
I'm not going to answer that because I don't really have an
Jay's
answer
got
for that
it.
now, so. Jay?
Prior to town meeting, we found that we weren't supposed to be spending any money on ponds, that it was only, the article where we get our money from was only for dry hydrants. Dry hydrants, that's it. So in the past, we have used money for other things other than just the physical dry hydrant. So we found that we weren't doing it right. So at town meeting back in March was when we changed the warrant article from dry hydrants to include fire ponds. So everything prior to March was a total different animal than what we're doing from March till now so far, if I said that right.
Copy.
So it's kind of a brand new thing from March town meeting on.
Okay, so
Okay.
we'll take that, so I guess we'll take that into consideration and see if we can maybe submit for work that's been done or future work on that as the town puts out a policy. The second thing with the Whitney's Pond, the meeting that was held, that some of the parties that you had discussed, and I believe there's a couple other people there, we were not invited to that meeting, or we didn't participate in that meeting as the person that did the work and this is the land. Was there a reason for that, or can we have that meeting again? Or are we gonna stick with the meeting that,
You can definitely meet with Burr and the rest of the members of that, and as far as like follow up to the letter and any issues you have with that.
we could schedule a new meeting is what you're saying, or?
Yeah,
Okay, so we'll schedule a new meeting and we'll go from that point. And I think that would probably change the contents of the letter. So we won't respond to that letter until we get the meeting in place, and we'll work with you to do that.
Yeah, I guess I would just suggest you and I meet first.
Perfect.
Just you and I meet first.
Yep.
Go over
Okay.
it. You'll understand
Alright.
the background probably better.
yep, okay,
That sounds fantastic.
all right,
Okay, that's all I had.
perfect. All right, I think we are done with the major meat of the agenda here. So we have short-term rental, 59 Middle Mountain Trail, and that is a 3-bedroom septic approved, and it is a 30 rental limit property. So I will make a motion to approve the short-term rental
I'll
at
second.
59 Middle Mountain Trail.
I'll second
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. One more for the list. And that is 7:25. All right. Kevin is not here, but if he were here, there might be comments on the building and driveway permits, but I don't think there are. So, anything else, guys? Any public comment? Eric?
All right, thank you, Barb. First thing I have on my list, text messages. We received, as we were searching for some information around some of the issues that we've had with the town, we did a 91A again, and we were advised that text messages had been deleted after 40 days. And I was wondering if that is a standard town practice with the data deletion policy, or if there's anything there. If the town doesn't have a data deletion policy, that's certainly something that I think we would encourage to look at. But in our process, that had come up. So I'm not sure if you're aware of the town has that policy or what's going on there.
Okay,
Yeah. I do have another item.
go ahead.
Okay, thank you. The fine assessed for the zoning, we are going to appeal that to the zoning board, the $275 fine.
Mm-hmm.
And we certainly, in the spirit of moving forward, invite the town to rescind that fine if possible, and certainly make that offer to move forward collaboratively. So that's the item that I have there. And then the final item that I have, if I can continue,
Mm-hmm.
is I do think, these meetings are supposed to be open and there should be discussion, as much as possible. That's the purpose of the meeting. So I think constantly trying to cut us off or not have us speak, I think is difficult. I think there was a lot of value that we could certainly add to a lot of the issues. And we would definitely like to proceed collaboratively forward. If that's not possible, then obviously it takes two parties to be collaborative.
Right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, any other public comment? Awesome, our next meeting is Tuesday, August 12th, and that starts at 3 o'clock, because I asked for it to start at 3 instead of 3:30, and I'm going to a cooking class at 4, and it's really important to me to be in that meeting, so that's August 12th at 3 o'clock. And then the next one after that is August 26th at 3:30. And we are going to have a non-public today. So if there's nothing else, I will make a motion to to move into a non-public according to RSA 91-A:3 to E.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And it is 4:06. Thanks, everyone. Appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
And then,
I'm
you
just
want
gonna take a picture of that.
Yes, perfect. The QR code is on there too.